At this point, as you can see, Elgin, the operations are continuing to try and retrieve those people. 3 fatalities at the bottom of the bridge. One of them at this point we know is still alive, and there's ongoing operations to ensure that that person is, of course, retrieved safely. In terms of the safety then of the road and the accidents, we're told that this is the second time that they are seeing an accident such as this one in this area. They're not certain whether it's caused by the bridge itself or even just the road, but they do state that this is something that has happened before on the R12. At this point, operations still continuing. As you can see, at this point they are still trying to make their way to the bottom. Of course, one person is still alive, and they are, of course, trying to ensure that they bring that person up safely, Elgin.
Well, Sletu over there joining us from the R102 following that accident that happened in the early hours of the morning. Preliminary information we are getting is that the accident took place at around 6 o'clock in the early hours of the morning. The bus was full at the time, and currently rescue operations are underway to save at least one person, we understand, who's still trapped in the bus, and 3 other people who have died. Sletu just spoke now to a lady who said that one of the people, or the person that is under the bus or in the bus, is her friend, and giving us details there that they were on their way to work. So this is where I'm going to say dot scenes for now. We're going to stay on these visuals from the R102. Imandla Petty will be taking over, and she will be with you up until 12 o'clock. That interview that we told you about, the interview with the president of COSATU, that is Zingiswa Losi, that interview will play a bit later on, right here on Channel 405. So stay tuned to Channel 405 for the latest on what's happening here at the R102, and also what's been happening in Parliament, as well as we expect Soli Malati to appear before the Communications Committee a bit later on today. From me, it is Dot Scenes.
Aldrin, good morning. Thanks for that. What a grim transition this is between our 2 shows. Live picture there from that fatal bus crash just off Tongaat Bridge. Emergency response operations, as you can see, are ongoing. We understand that this is an active scene as well as an active crime scene. You would have seen in some of those visuals there some crime scene investigators as well, as they try to piece together exactly what went wrong. There's a great deal of concern and worry on the top of the bridge with people who might be connected to those, some say they are, to those who were involved in this accident this morning. You heard from one woman, Silatiwe has just been talking to about her concerns for someone who might still be trapped. We just want to take you into a little bit of the audio from that particular scene, this tragedy unfolding just after 6 this morning.
Iman, from the conversations that we've had with IPSS just this morning, as you stated, we know that the or rather one of the people that came here to check what happened, she says that she received a call around about 6:30 this morning. She was told that there's a bus that has now crashed on the Tongaat River Bridge, and this is near Maidstone Sugar Mill here in Tongaat. But I just want to bring in the KZN spokesperson for the Department of Transport to speak to us. Maybe just firstly, just talk to us about the report that came in this morning.
Yeah, no, the MEC Sibamso Duma received a report from our highly efficient team at Road Traffic Inspectorate, just indicating that it seems as if there was a brake failure. The bus that was traveling towards south, he was speeding and he experienced brake failure. That is according to the preliminary report that we've received from the RTI. And he was trying to avoid the traffic, and then he veered off the road and then plunged off the more than 50 meter long bridge. It's very unfortunate that 3 people have died. MEC Sibamso Duma has expressed his condolences to the families of the victims. We've just been informed that more than 12 people are seriously injured, and we are obviously still collecting report from our team that is here. The team from Medical Rescue Services, they are working in an integrated fashion. As you can see, we also have the police and rescue teams, the emergency medical rescue services from the Department of Health. They are all here. So the MEC is continuously receiving a report. Is it the meeting? And he will be obviously based on the progress of the recovery efforts here. We are going to be then making another pronouncement.
So you're talking about the progress then of the recovery efforts. Speak to us about some of the operations that are yet to take place. We know that there's 3 fatalities, 3 people at this point at the bottom of the bridge. 1 person is still alive. Talk to us about the operations then that we are yet to see to retrieve those people.
Well, obviously, we are just giving space to the medically rescue services, to speed up the recovery process. As you can see, they are very meticulous in terms of the execution of their work. They do not want to cause more injuries to the, surviving, passenger. Obviously, there are other teams that are here. You can see that the tow truck drivers are also here. We are working very well with the truck drivers associations in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, and we've agreed that if we are experiencing such accidents on our road, we have what we call a decongestion work stream that the MEC sponsor Duma mandated the RTI team to establish, involving the South African National Rescue, the South African National Road Agency, SANRAL. You have other government departments. In this case, we've got Ilembe, we've got eThekwini, we've got KwaDukuza, along the N2, as well as other municipalities along the N3. So here on the N2, we've got all those teams involving all municipalities.
Do you have any concern when you're looking at this road? I know just a few moments ago we spoke to people about how this is not the first time that they're seeing an accident on this a specific area. Do you have any concern, and maybe just in terms of accidents, is this area prone to them?
Well, there are a number of accidents that have been reported. This is not the first one. Obviously, the issue of speed is very important, that our road safety campaigns that the MEC is pioneering are being rolled out in various parts of the province of KwaZulu-Natal. Recall that a couple of weeks ago we had the launch of the Easter Road Safety Campaign just a few kilometers away from here, because this area, the district, has had quite a number of road accidents, including buses. We had a bus accident. You were part of, that recovery efforts along the N2. This is another one. It's very sad. The issue of roadworthiness of all these buses, it's something that MC Sponsor Duma is actually, focusing on.
Yes, and maybe just lastly then, before I let you go, I know we are being asked to move from the bridge as they are busy with an extraction, and of course we do understand there's issues of safety in terms of ensuring that those that haven't been affected are quite safe. Of course, there's a number of people on the bridge. Iman, we're just going to try and move back a bit from the area that has been impacted, but maybe just to speak to you lastly then, before we let you go, what do we know about some of the people that were inside the bus? We're told that this is a local bus and that they were headed to work this morning.
Well, obviously, it's a peak hour, early in the morning. People are rushing to work, and we are obviously going to be getting more reports from the teams that are working here. Our RTI team, they are here. They'll be giving us more reports. So at this stage, we can indicate that people were traveling to work. And we have 12 people that are confirmed seriously injured. 3 people have died. So as we move along, we'll be getting more reports, from all teams, because we're working in an integrated fashion. We've got SAPS, we've got teams from the municipality, eThekwini, Metropolis. We've got other highly efficient teams, because it's part of, rendering services to the most vulnerable members of society.
Thank you very much for speaking to us. So, Iman, as you can see, they are then trying firstly to ensure that there's safety. Of course, the bus did crash over the bridge, so we are told that they are trying to ensure that the number of people that are on this bridge are quite safe. We also know that there's operations that are continuing in terms of retrieving some of those people that are still at the bottom of the bridge. 3 fatalities fatalities have been reported at this point. One person is still alive. We are told that they are trying to ensure once again that that person is retrieved quite safely. What I can also tell you, Iman, is that there is, of course, much conversation around the safety of the number of people that are gathered on the bridge to ensure that, of course, they are quite safe. But as you can see, there's a number of operations that are happening. There's a number of different teams also to ensure that the people are safe, and obviously a number of people are retrieved quite safely. SAPS is here, IPSS is also still here, a number of ambulances still on scene. But at this particular moment, Iman, we are then being asked to move on the other side as they are trying to ensure safety for a number of people that are actually on the bridge at this point.
Lele, as we let you and the team get to safety, just want to share with our viewers where we are for those who are joining us in this 9 o'clock hour on Newsfeed AM. Thanks for being with us. I'm sure there are many people concerned about the safety of their loved ones who could potentially be in that vehicle that has crashed over that R102 bridge there in Tongaat. You see a number of community members there. Siletiwe getting a briefing from one of the officials saying that this is now an integrated mission across various municipalities, Ilembe, Itekwini and Kwadukuza, including all of the municipalities in between, who have all sent through their rescue and recovery teams. This is a rescue and recovery mission because there are still some people believed to be alive in that wreckage this morning. You heard our reporter as well talking to a woman there who believes that a friend of hers is still trapped in that bus. We must remember we can't reveal identities and find out too much about the specifics around those who have been caught up in this tragedy because ostensibly their families would be worried about them and would want to be told if things have gone wrong and if there is bad news, to be told in the correct manner so that they deal with that news privately. But we are being told that there's integrated police and rescue teams. The local MECs in a meeting getting a briefing from everyone who's involved in this operation, and so they will share some information with the public as soon as that comes to hand. And as we've been hearing, there are various pieces of equipment that are being used in a situation like this. There are pulleys and ropes, but also various types of emergency equipment, spine boards and scoops, which they use to load bodies on. And for those who have been recovered alive, to protect the integrity of their well-being, emergency rescuers would also use things like spine boards. So this is a rescue and recovery mission currently underway. As you heard from our reporter there, they're just being moved to a safer area. Hopefully they will be able to get perhaps to the other side of the bridge where you see a number of community members who are there just watching this tragedy unfold. It's not the first time, by the way, that there has been issues related to bus safety, and you heard the official there just comment on it. This particular bridge itself, this hasn't been the first time an incident such as this has happened, but that R102 now closed to allow full access for rescue and emergency services. For those who might be heading out or traveling in that area in KwaZulu-Natal, there's the Gopal Lal Herbans Road. If you are going to be using that road, you're advised to expect delays or perhaps try and find an alternative route. We haven't confirmed the number of injuries. These operations are still continuing. You can see it's a live scene. I mentioned those pulleys, and that's what's being deployed to be able to retrieve and extricate bodies there. We're showing you some picture, or bodies and survivors rather. We're showing you some picture from earlier on. And you can see also the immense risks that our safety and emergency services teams put themselves under and they face in operations such as this. They have to brave all kinds of environments to ensure the well-being of life and the safe extrication of bodies such as there have been in this particular case. So far, the death toll in that accident standing at 3. From a little bit earlier on, when our teams arrived on the scene of this fatal bus accident, 3 people killed in a bus crash on the R102 near the Maidstone Sugar Mill, which is in the Tongaat area in KwaZulu-Natal. From what some of the initial reports are suggesting, it was a fully laden bus. It's a 30-seater bus, we understand, veering off the Tongaat River Bridge. That R102 has now been closed to traffic. So far, 3 people confirmed to be dead, 12 seriously injured. We are also getting reports that some people are still pinned inside that vehicle. One of the spokespeople earlier on had said to the media that one of the seriously injured passengers were being taken or extricated by the fire department, and they use a lot of heavy machinery and equipment in operations such as this to be able to get people out of crashes involving vehicles or multiple vehicles. And so the story, as we say, is still developing. This is a picture from earlier on. Quite a serious crash in the area there. Siletiwe, I hope that you and the team are in a safer location. What's the latest from where you're standing now?
Well, Iman, we've been asked to move from the spot, rather, where we were earlier on, and that's where that bus crashed over the Tongaat River Bridge. We're told that we were moved for safety, but we are also told that we were moved to protect then the integrity, rather, of the people that were involved in that accident. Earlier on, we did have a conversation with IPSS. They did mention that the bus then was filled to capacity. They mentioned that these are, of course, preliminary reports, but they did mention that they're looking at 15 people that were possibly inside the bus. At this point, 3 fatalities have been reported, 12 people seriously injured. 3 of those fatalities still need to be retrieved then from the bottom of the bridge, and this is near the Maidstone sugar mill here in Tongaat. And 1 person, Iman, that is yet to be retrieved, we are told is still alive. But 3 fatalities and 1 person that still needs to be retrieved from the bottom of the bridge. From the conversations that we had earlier on with some of the local people, it seems as if, Iman, this is a local bus. It seems as if it was carrying local people that were on their way to work in the early hours of this morning, around 6:30, I believe. And we are told that there's a woman that reported that she is actually on the bridge to come and check whether her friend is actually on the bus, as that's the reports that she received. In terms of the safety then of this bridge and the road itself, we are told that there's a few accidents that have happened in the past, rather, on this particular road. But also preliminary reports, as we spoke to the KZN spokesperson for transport, Ndabezinhle Sibiya, mentioning that this is, of course, not the first time that they are seeing an accident on this road. This is the R102. What we can also tell you, Iman, is that those operations are continuing in terms of retrieving people. IPSS is on the scene. SAPS is on the scene. A number of ambulances, the fire and rescue department, trying to ensure that they bring those people back up safely. We are then also going to try and get more information as the day progresses in terms of if there are any changes, Iman. But at this point, what I can tell you is that there's a report in terms of how this road, this is not the first time really that they are seeing something like this on this road, rather. We are told that the R102 is completely closed at this point. Traffic is being diverted. It's closed north and southbound, so people are being asked to remain patient. And also those that have made their way here, even before they are being directed, they're also being asked to be quite cautious. A number of people, Iman, still on that bridge trying to see what has happened, and also just to gather information on who are some of the people that could be inside that bus. Of course, this is a local bus that operates here in Tongaat.
Talking about some of the incidents at that bridge you're standing on, and that road stretches some way, Lele, there was, of course, on the 6th of September last year, there was a VW Polo that plunged off that bridge on Gopalal Herban's Road, which is what that road is near Maidstone in Tongaat. Sadly, the driver was killed in that incident. Further back in 2022, there was a rescue that had to be enacted after a vehicle careened off the Maidstone Bridge into Tongaat River, again in that area where you were at. That person fortunately survived and was taken to a nearby hospital. But there has been talk about the potential dangers associated with the Tongaat River Bridge and the area. So as you heard from officials then, as you heard from our reporter, it's not the first time. In March, by the way, of this year on the N2 near KwaDukuza, and this is about bus crashes in KwaZulu-Natal over the last 6 months in general. But there have been some major incidents. A bus transporting church members from Richards Bay to Shaka's Kraal suffered a tyre burst and caused it to roll down a 100-metre embankment. 9 people died in that incident, including a 4-year-old child, and over 60 other people were injured. We continue to focus on bus crashes in the area. The R618 near Vryheid, there was a scholar transport bus which crashed, resulting in 2 fatalities. And again in that incident, 60 other people were injured. And on the R608 near Vryheid, another bus accident leading to the deaths of 2 pupils and injuries to 60 people. So there are some concerns, ongoing concerns around bus safety in the province. It's too early to say what went wrong in this particular incident, as officials are still trying to ascertain that. The focus right now is on extricating those who might still be alive and trapped in the wreckage.